Okay, I'm guessing we are live finally. There's been a lot of things that have gone wrong logistically, but we are here now, and yeah, ready to play some chess. I lost one game early on in the second round. Was a lot of things that went wrong in that game, and I also made a pretty bad mouse slip going king d1 instead of long castles when I think I was kind of out of trouble, and then towards the end I should have been able to flag him, but he rudely checkmated me instead. But overall, yeah, deserved loss. So now we gotta try and fight back. Yeah, I guess there's a game break after this game, so I'll say a few words then. In the meantime, let's watch a couple of the games that are still going. But I think this is actually a real move. Aryan faced it against somebody from Korea in the Olympiad. It's not a bad line at all. Okay, this should be a flag. I think Salim's connection is just really bad. Okay. I did win Freestyle Friday the other day after losing the first game. So, you know, not all hope is out quite yet. Oh boy, that's a rough way to get flagged. Anyway, we have a game coming very soon. And we are in the unfortunate situation of being paired up, since I've already lost the game. And I am, for once, the highest rated player in the tournament. Let's go for the double Fianchetto. Something I've played a lot, usually not necessarily via this move order. But that's how it is. What's happening here? D5 looks like a good move. Feels like he's kind of misplaced his pieces a bit. Yeah, knight f4 I'm guessing is forced. I'll drop the queen back. Probably to d6 where it's defended. d5, knight e5, and I'm hoping that this will be weak. Not quite sure that it is, though. Maybe I'll do this. Try and jump in with the knight. It's more based on a trick than anything else, though. Well, that looks like a free pawn to me. Now with the queen on d6, with the queen on d7, this would have been a playable move since he could take, and then e3 with the pin. But now this is not a real pin because the queen is protected on d6 by both pawns. So I just win a pawn for nothing. And yeah, he's burning a ton of time, but we're already at a point where the position is pretty much technically winning. e5 was also playable, but I wanted to cover this square. Now I can go e5, I think. Here, probably cd. cd, rook c6, queen d7, push e4. You can also go ed. I don't know, I'm thinking e3. Starts chopping away, and who knows? Let's go cd. Yeah, I think we continue to push. I'm protecting this just so that I can apply it to e3 with d3. A little centralization doesn't really hurt. Speaking of centralization, more of it. He does get an active rook, but that's also just about it. The rest of the position is under my control, but you know, he can still fight. Just hinting at X-rays against the rook, also maybe preparing to activate my king or something like that. Here, maybe I'm allowing this, and this square gets tender. Actually, I'm getting impatient already. Let me just push the pawn. He cannot take this 3 times because his rook will be hanging in the end. And I am getting my pawn here, I think. Rook d2, I got bishop f4, and rook e2 invading decisively. That's a good try. Again, hinting at this square, but since I have not weakened it with h5, I think you can just stop it. It's also tempting, but let's keep it simple. Rook c4, and we go d2. If nothing else, I can go bishop c3 and rook e1, giving up the bishop and winning the exchange. I think that's what I'm gonna do. And yeah, there's just no way to defend against this threat. Let's go here. Also this, maybe I go rook b2. The other rook just to keep control. Yeah, this is just... Oops, actually this feels even cleaner. Here, and then I force the exchange of rooks, and then absolutely nothing can go wrong. Okay, so we got a game break coming up, and I would say about 10 minutes till my next game. So yeah, obviously the circumstances today are and yesterday are very, very sad. The first thing I will say is that obviously, like, I've known Naroditsky or I knew Naroditsky for many years. Like, we weren't close, but we played a ton of games against each other online, and he was always, first of all, a great opponent, but also very, very respectful, very nice. And I spent many hours not only watching his games, but also watching his streams, which were both, exciting for his incredible gameplay, but also great explanations. And funnily, he was kind of with me during two of my biggest moments in the last year when I played him. I played him famously a few games on my wedding night after, Ella had passed out, and we both, had a long day, and there had been some drinking, and she had passed out, and I was still awake, and I felt like I was too drunk to sleep, so I decided to play a few games, and I thought, regardless of what happens, it would be a funny story. And kind of because of that, I decided to play a few games when from the hospital bed as well, when we're waiting for the delivery. With the whole Kramnik situation, not only with Naroditsky, from the beginning, I would say that obviously I've had problems with him in the past, not like big problems, but I've generally, for all his greatness, I generally thought that he was somebody who had a bit of a better reputation than he deserved for many reasons. But I did feel at the very start when he was going through when he was starting to this kind of crusade against cheating online, I did feel that at the start, even though I didn't agree with his numbers, I thought at the end of the day he is kind of fighting a good fight. But that turned on his head completely. First of all, he started to go after Hikari, which seemed crazy. But I thought that was bad in itself. But when he started going after Naroditsky so hard, first of all, I don't anybody thought that Naroditsky was cheating, and I know that, coming from me, make of it what you will. Some people will say that I have very little credibility on the matter, but I personally, in private, I expressed that, I was sorry for what he was going through and supported him. Probably should should have done that publicly as well. But I think people can understand some of the reasons why I was reluctant to sort of do that fight more publicly. And I thought, yeah, the way he was going after Naroditsky was horrible, and seeing how it affected him as well, which was apparent. Not like I don't have any more information than you guys. Like, I don't know what happened 2 days ago, so I'm not going to speculate on that. But regardless, even long before that, it had clearly taken him to a point where he was not in a great space. So again, make of it what you will, coming from me, but that was not good, and yeah, it's a great loss. It's very sad for all of us that somebody who was such a resource to the chess community and also had, a universally high approval rating of everybody he met, was led to the place that he was. And yeah, it's just very sad. And yeah, I was watching a little bit of Bortnik's stream yesterday, and I understand his, him wanting to talk to somebody, and as a at least part-time streamer, you want to express your thoughts to your community. I just hope that him and his family and everybody can get help and get through this. But yeah, we all kind of experience loss in our lives somehow, and it's not fun. That's for sure. My thoughts on cries to strip Kramnik of his medals. Like, yeah, I don't have an opinion. Don't have an opinion on that. I mean, it's not up to me. Hey Magnus, how's your baby? I mean, for something more positive, my little boy is through everything, both today and many other days. He is a shining light, and he is, in my completely unbiased opinion, the greatest human by far to walk this earth. So that's how he is. I was actually contacted by Naroditsky, I don't know, a little less than a year ago, that there is this video at some point during COVID where I phone into Naroditsky's stream, which I just I more or less asked him ad hoc if I could come on his stream, and and he didn't know what it was about, but I just went there to roast him, which was 100% a joke, as was apparent to him. It was honestly more of a joke about Hikaru than anything else. But the thing is, like, Kramnik actually apparently tweeted about this clip and said something, to the effect of, "Don't believe like this is a joke. This is actually real." And yeah, that I don't know what to say to that. That's just. I mean, first of all, it's obviously not true, if I need to say that, and it's also crazy that anybody would think it's true. But yeah, that was certainly one fun moment that I shared with Naroditsky. Okay, we got one B3 as the so-called community move today. For those who don't know, that's the community votes for the first move in a game, where it's usually the first one. But I think I already played I already played B3 in one game this tournament, but whatever, I can do it again. It's the first one on stream. By the way, Edgar Mamedov, fairly young guy, probably 15, 16, I would say, very talented. But for all his talent, I don't think he's played the best opening in this game. Queen e G5 now. There's my arrows again. This and this. Oh. There are some interesting lines after G6, Knight E4, Bishop E5. There's even Bishop A3 in that line, which is a bit of a crazy move. Which honestly I might go for. But there were also some lines with like Bishop E5 and then Bishop H5. Might insert a check here, King E2, Queen B3. Like, it all should be good for white, but I'm kind of attracted to Bishop A3 at the moment there. Just to stay active. Oh, but maybe I'm still got some issues there. Not sure. Regardless, I don't know what he's thinking about, because the move G6 seems completely forced. Okay. Well, I'm sure he has seen the game Larsen-Spassky from the so-called match of the century from 1970. We're against the so-called B3, which is, I guess, called the Larsen's opening. Spassky had a blistering attack with pawns promoting. At some point he sacrificed a piece with HG3, so this is kind of similar. But the circumstances were somewhat different, I must say. Let's go here. Just want to keep this pawn. No, I mean, this is just very hard to believe. He does get a little bit of play, but shouldn't be nearly enough. Let's go DE. Queen G3 is probably forced, and I'll probably put the king on F1. My plan now is Bishop G4, and then Queen to F3 if he castles. Queenside here, which is the most logical move. Also, Queen D4 is very strong there. There's f5, but I just take it, and I don't see any problems there. Yeah, queen f3 forces the exchange of queens and winning the game very, very soon. No, he has one correct move, which is to resign the game. He didn't find it, sadly. Check. Let's trade the rook. Actually, let's don't. Let's not. See, he's got knight d3 there in the end. Let's don't. What kind of English is that? Uh, 94. Sure. Sure. D1, I guess. You can win one pawn back with rook d1 and knight g5, but it's not as if that's... Ooh, that's not good. Let's focus just a tad. Just prevent any checks there. Don't even want to give him the pawn. And he duly resigns. Okay. That was not spectacular, but easy enough. Good to see Bortnik back streaming again today. Again, in difficult situations, it's sometimes good to distract yourself. Certainly what I tried to do last year. Do I think of Alireza's terrible performance in Comet knockout? I honestly didn't follow that tournament at all. So, I don't know. Like, if I'd known that tournament was going on, I probably would have tried and play it. Try to qualify for the knockouts myself. Because, you know, I love competing, but I was not aware. Yeah, this is not going to be on time here. Mr. Bortnik. You can even try to get in g6 at some point here. If you want to try and win on the board. Any reason why I'm not playing the GCL this year? Yeah, I really wanted to, but yeah. I'm a dad and I have to prioritize. So, at the end of the day, I couldn't find the time. Bortnik is doing an incredible job, by the way, staying afloat here. I don't think he's going to make it. It would take a miracle. But having survived for so many moves. It's like that's a talent that only he and a few others have, like Nihal and Alireza, to be actually be able to play with nothing but increment, and not even increment, but play basically almost pre-moving and not blundering in difficult positions like that. I've gotten burned so many times playing Blitz and Bullet against Bortnik where I think I'm winning the game on time, but then he just locks in and pre-moves. Andrew Tang is another example. Somebody who can do that. Okay, I guess we have a new game coming soon, so I've got, I guess, 4 out of 5, which is, yeah, and pretty bad tiebreak, which is natural considering I lost the game early and been paired down, but, you know, we'll try and fight our way back. Georgis Germanovs. He played him recently, either in Titled Tuesday or Freestyle Friday. I don't know if he's young. I feel like he's probably young since he does really well in these events for the kind of rating he has. Oh wow. Is this some kind of delayed? This doesn't make any sense. I mean, it's possible to play like this, but c3 is just a waste of time, I think. Compared to, I mean, the knight might want that square, and the... Maybe I should have not chickened out and just taken the pawn. Okay, I guess I'll just develop sensibly. So we have a normal system here just with the pawn on c3 for some reason. But what is he doing? That's very strange. I mean, so far I'm just getting gifted a pawn. Yeah, I don't know what to say. Like, this guy is a strong player. You don't expect to just be technically winning like this without even having to make having had to make any difficult moves. But I'll take it. Let's go here. Thinking of bringing the knight around. Targeting this pawn. Maybe there's bishop g5 there. Let's go king f8 first. Just make sure that this pawn is safely protected. Here, knight d4, I go back, and pawn is a pawn. Knight b3, I got b4, forcing favorable trades, and the goal is to have two connected pass pawns on e7 and d6 eventually. Here, g5, I think it's just h6. Don't see any tactics. Yeah. g5. Maybe he's hoping for some tactics against this square. B3 is very B4 is very tempting. Maybe then I am allowing some of these tricks. Okay, let's just go here then. Try and win without tactics whatsoever. Yeah. I think I'll take the bishop here. No tactics still. Cover this square. You go f4. I'm going rook b5. Preventing f5. Now I just want to go here. Tie more pieces down to the defense of this pawn. Double up them rooks. He's not playing a bad game after the start, it's just that he has given himself an enormous mountain to climb. Let's go here for now. Thinking of this. Trying to restrict his forces even more. Yeah, I was thinking about the move a4 actually, and whether I should have done something to prevent that earlier. But yeah, this I had missed, but it should be okay. Taking here, I'm getting b2. And don't think I'm too worried. Let's take. I have allowed more counterplay than I would have ideally liked. I will say that. But still winning. Bishop taking here is going to be strong. Yeah, that would be very reasonable weren't it for the fact that I can change plans and go for bishop b3 with the old skewer. Hi to Ella. She's just flexing her mod powers. That she can speak even when others cannot. Which I would say is not fair per se, but it's not entirely unfair either. Okay. This game is not going on anymore. Let's see. Parhamov. Okay, let's watch Elham and Nico. This is interesting. I could be wrong, but I think Elham is just in the studio next to me streaming. Going to say extra cute today, but we're in emote only. So that's not allowed. Fair enough. It's typical LM, by the way. Absolutely mucking it up. Here, I think he wins bishop h6. I don't think necessarily works, but can be incredibly annoying to deal with. Yeah, there's that game to mouse it trying to castle. Well, it was not only because of that, but yes, I was trying to castle when I went king d1 in that second game. Can I turn on screen coordinates? I honestly haven't thought about that. It's a good question. Was bishop e3 straight away cleaner than rook b1? I'm too lazy to try and find the game, but it probably was. Yeah, that's the end of the game. 86 coming. Okay, so we got a maximum of one player with. I don't see Hikaru. Oh, Hikaru's got 4 out of 5, so he's already lost the game, and he is winning this one though, so we will be on the same score. Yeah. Yeah. Let's see this game. Yesipenko against Ibarra. Oh, we got a good scramble coming up here. Oh, draw. So that means that the lead is shared with 5.5, which I guess is good for us. Seven players, wow. And it could be more because there's more people playing. It's 4.5. What's with the draws today? Eight players now with 5.5. Oh, Dubov. That is a rare pairing in Titled Tuesday. Let's see. Let's hit him with the old 1d4. Wow. Did not expect that. Let's see what he does against these setups. Should I take that? I guess I'll just develop for now. So this is one of those kind of modern Dutch lines where instead of going for the old kingside fianchetto, white just goes for e3, bishop e2, and then castling. And then playing on the queen side. I don't like knight c6 particularly by him. On a5, I think the knight is offside, and here I get a quick a5. It should be a significant achievement for me. Unless ba is good here, which I assume he wants to play. But c5 I was thinking he wants to do, but queen a1 is quite bothersome for him to deal with. a6 is another way of trying to alleviate some of the pressure. So he takes first. He was worried that I'm going to take here at some point, but let's trade There are some pieces coming off on the queen side, but I do feel like I have a very clear initiative here still. Queen d2 maybe. Then bringing the rook in. With the queen side so open, it's hard for me to see that he's gaining a lot of counterplay on the king side, and without that, white is normally going to be a bit better in these positions. So bishop here. Okay. I guess I will try and bother it with the knight. And he goes back. So either he kind of missed my previous move, or he didn't know what to do, so he just decided to provoke me a little bit. I'm kind of tempted to go with this. Let's play h3 first. It's a little bit of a cop-out, but this I can at least take an e6. So I don't think that gives him... Okay, so that was his idea, which I was actually thinking about in some other line. And I'm now a little bit annoyed that I allowed. Okay. That's still fine. Queen b2. Still bothering his bishop a bit. And I missed this. That is very annoying. I think I have to give up the pawn. Yeah, I just missed that this was hanging. That was not my finest. That was not my finest hour. Intending bishop b4. Here. This is a big threat. The lack of space here is somewhat bothersome for him. Okay, so he decides to play active. But I'm not sure I believe in it. Queen here, maybe? I think I can just start taking his pieces. Yeah. Let's try. I think he has to trade the rooks. Don't see what else he can do. And then probably fe3 afterwards. It's not clear at all. Yeah, so that was expected. I think I should just take back. At least in a blitz game, that seems like the sensible, practical thing to do. And I'm expecting, yeah, knight f5, queen d7, and then here maybe. Oh no, that doesn't even... Oh, I saw that my initial plan doesn't quite work. Maybe it only leads to a draw. At least I can go queen e8 and then bishop f3. Maybe keep a little bit of pressure that way. Because otherwise there's queen f4, one queen f4 with a perpetual. This is playable too? Really? Okay, give a couple of checks. Probably want to control this diagonal. Yeah, probably don't have anything more than a draw. That's a bit frustrating. Now I don't have any lead on time either. Okay, let's... I mean, just for the hell of it. Like, I'm not better at all. But for the tournament's sake, I need to win. So that's why I'm playing on here. No other reason. I don't even have a move. Don't even have a move. Why am I doing this to myself? At least he's spending time too. Then d5 is the plan. Okay, he trades queens. But now, well, I'm not gonna, even though we're on great terms, you know, I'm not going to accept a draw. Like, I have to try and flag him. I'm not gonna flag him here. Yeah, there's just no way. Okay. Yeah, I'm sorry. I mean, that's just a new Title Tuesday where there's... You have to try and flag. It was a bit of a shaky game, honestly, from the beginning. Blundered a pawn. And let me try and have a look at the game. Did I have anything? Yeah, so obviously this was a blunder, but I'm still fine. Bishop a5 and then bishop b4 or what? I could have taken it. I was looking at this here. Oh, I got bishop f. Really? I just looked at this and I couldn't get any further. So I had 2 minutes and I didn't spend my time. Yeah, now this is just a draw. Oh well. What happened here? My game has started. By the way, am I getting another white? Haven't I gotten, like... Isn't this my 5th white in 7 games, even though I started with black? Rasmus Svane. I don't really know much about this line. I just started playing it in Blitz a bit recently for fun. Oh well. Oh, this is what he does. Well, this I don't really know. That's a shame. Maybe people play bishop e2 before knight f3. feel like if black can afford this, then his whole system isn't very good. Black can afford going... I'm sure it doesn't work, but I'm curious to find out why. Bishop d3. Because, like, if this does work for me tactically, I am doing very well. In that case, I'm just getting into f5 and chilling. Like, realistically, with max 9.5 and a poor tiebreak, I don't think I can fight for tournament victory now, but we'll see. We'll try and have as good a time as we can today. At least he's thinking, so. Son is the kind of guy who's quite booked up on prep, so it probably means that my move took him out of prep, which again probably means that it's not very good, so that's the bad news. The good news are that he has 3 minutes maximum to try and figure out why. And I feel like this is not the way. At least this is not how you refute it. And I don't know. This reminds me of one of Levy's videos where which I talked to him about in Paris last year, where he had a bunch of sacrifices on h6, g7, and everything was kind of working, and he really was hard on himself for not having gone for it. And here I decided to not think and just sack. And of course, now that he doesn't take the material, then it has been an unequivocal success. I think I'm going to go here. Keep the h3 square open for my queen when he goes queen h6. Then knight f3 probably. Trade some pieces. Bishop c3, bc3, and so on. So I guess he's trying to claim that he has some compensation in the endgame, but it is quite hard to believe. I will have a lot of weak pawns, but I am up a lot of material. Exactly one exchange and one pawn. This is threatened. I mean, I can even do this, but I might as well just take it. Here, there's d6 too. This will probably prompt resignation, at least this will. Okay. Well, we got 6.5 from 8, which is not great, but it leaves us still in contention for some high places. Let me just check this real quick. I think I started with black and then I played white the next 5 out of 7. Let me see. So this is black, white. So black in the first game. White, white, black, white, black, white, white. So that is 5 out of 7. Just kind of a bit of gift from the pairing system, but that's okay. We need everything we can get. Let's look at this game. This looks very interesting, but why does two rooks two rooks down? How on earth did this happen? Knight c2 should win the game comfortably for Hikaru. The thing is that if g5, you just sack the knight. Probably has to try something like this. Yeah, I just don't think there are a lot of ideas here for white at all. Maybe here he takes f6. Maybe that's what he wants. If I will play both games in honor of Naroditsky later. No, yeah, I would love to, but I have to get home. I have duties. Here, g5, d3. Game's over. Oh, I mean, that's the wild thing about Naroditsky as well. If you're like, usually the people who are kind of suspected online is that you would, it's people who like vastly overperform in tournaments compared to other games, but that was the opposite for him. He generally underperformed in Titled Tuesday compared to what he did in regular Blitz. So, yeah. But I mean, enough said about that. It was just very sad. Arsenal versus Atleti predictions. Well, I hope they both lose, but who knows? Hello wants her cutie back. Fact. Yeah. Okay. I am going to take a little break. Use the restroom, and when we'll be back, we will try and what's my views on Theodoria's plays in general, OTB and online? Climbing up the ladders. Very suspicious indeed. No, he's a fun character for sure, and a very good player. Very good theoretician. Has great ideas too. So I think he will continue to improve. Okay. Okay. Must be wild for Nico to have been among the top most of the way here and still have a worse tiebreak than me. See. I mean. Sergui. Yeah, no, I think to have any chance of winning the tournament, I have to have the pairings fall absolutely right. And yeah, it's gonna be hard. Regardless. Hello, Carlsen. I want Magnus to commentate my 1200 really games. Well, yeah, I mean, I find it fun, for sure. 1200 FIDE? No. I actually wanted to play the Norwegian Championship this year in the under 1200. You know, life got in the way. But next year. In a few years, maybe. Yeah, I'm a mouth breather. Sadly, I am. Big time. My son, on the other hand, he's great at breathing through his nose. Don't know where, don't know where he got that from. How much is the break? I don't know. It's probably over fairly soon, I guess. One thing that I do know for sure is that I'm playing black in the next game. I played way too many games with white. Chat is too fast for Magnus. Well, it's on delay. That's the problem. So we're not like having a one-to-one conversation. You're reacting to everything that I say 15 minutes later. Oh, you can't breastfeed if you're... No, I didn't think about that. Hey, Magnus, has your little chess boy made his first chess move yet? Hello from Uganda. Well, hello to you too. He has not yet. We should probably get a chessboard at home first. Recently moved, so things are a bit chaotic. Not that I had a chessboard in the previous place either. Predictions for clutch chess. Well, I am excited to play. For sure. Okay, Jeffrey Xiong. Why did I say that in such a high pitch? That was weird. Okay, very serious opponent. I've been playing the Najdorf in this event so far, so why not continue with that? What's his idea? E5? No, he just wanted to confuse me. This. Yeah, this I had against Wesley in the... I never really studied what you should do here. Oh, I had this against Jeffrey in Titled Tuesday another time, didn't I? Which I completely forgot about. Yeah, I most certainly did. Nah, I don't know what to play. I think then I played 95 and I ground him down in a long end game, but it was not because of the opening, that's for sure. H6. I don't know. I'm always kind of just tempting him to trade, because then I get some activity for my pieces, which is all I really want in life. I think for now, I mean, I can go d5, but then I'm slightly worse, and no, probably have to. No, I have to keep the tension a little bit. I'm just hinting at attacking this pawn at some point. This is not good. I'm definitely worse here. Says Sicilian defense checkover variation, also known as the VAR system. Check over. And if you don't find that funny, get out of here. Don't want to see you. It's all quite uninspiring. That just leaves me a bishop pair down. Guess I have to trade then. Then d5. I'm just hoping here of something. At least I have bishop c8 or something. And then take this pawn. So he quite I was going to say he sensibly doesn't go for it, but now he actually allowed me to definitely equalize the game. Now I kind of like my position. That was a clear mistake by Jeffrey. He's trying to play it safe, but by playing it safe, he is playing into my hands. Now things are looking a lot more promising. His pawns on the queen side are weak, and hopefully I can get some 4-on-3 on the queen side, which I can press. Can go a5, a6, but then he is giving up. He is giving up b2, and I'm not running any risk here whatsoever. Not that that matters that much, seeing as I have to win my last 3 games, but still. From a position that's slightly worse, this is a clear win for me. Rook b8. No. You're an idiot. My idea was rook c7, rook d7, but you have rook c8 then. Rook c7, I go a5. I think that's what I do. Yeah, this is what I do. And once he starts moving the bishop and going for a5, then f2 is going to be very weak. Here also g3 allows a quick f4. And he cannot defend these pawns very easily now. So, huge edge for me now. And not more importantly, but to add to that, my position is really easy to play. I don't know what that's about. Can't I just take the pawn? Yeah, everything's gone a bit wrong for him here. Bishop c6, rook a2. The pawn goes, and so does the game. Okay, so that's a clever try. Let's go rook d8, just to prevent any bishop d5 shenanigans. Because this bishop is so strong holding down any counterplay that he might have. So I don't wanna trade that bishop. Here, now I'm threatening rook b4. Rook b6, threatening my bishop. I think king f6 should be fine. King f8 should be fine. Let's just go king f6. Bishop c8, rook b4. Here. So rook f2 maybe wins, but rook e2 protects everything. If rook a5, I got rook f2. Let's push. Yeah. And, like, with all his other problems here, he's also going to lose some time, if nothing else. So, I'm curious as to what the evaluation is here. I think he should have taken the pawn, yeah. No, yes, indeed, my evaluation was correct. That I'm better. And yeah, a5 was not necessary, but it's, yeah, look at this. Almost, it's -2. So, that was a little bit of a gift from him, but I'll take it, of course. And Hikaru looks to move to 8 out of 9. And seeing as Parham was the only player on 7.5 out of 8, that will be the shared lead. So he has clawed his way all the way back from an early loss too. Is my vase half full or half empty? It's always half full, but I appreciate the joke. How come I retired the orange juice mixture 10 to 15 years ago? I think to regulate my blood sugar during events. Also, water is nice. But I also like Solo Super. Not sponsored. Let's see. We got 2 players so far on 8 out of 9. And then we got Lazavik joining them probably. Rook d7, queen f4. It's going to be checkmate, so he's just trying to survive for a few more moves. Let's see how... I think Lazavik has way too much time here. He wants the rook. Lazavik is doing the sensible route here. He's not necessarily trying to win the game immediately. He just knows that with a lone king it's almost impossible to pre-move once the queen gets going. So he knows he's going to flag his opponent, worst case. Not sponsored yet, yes, of course. Okay, and I do get Lazavik. Another black game and a solid opponent. Not ideal, but, you know, we gotta beat some people in order to win the tournament, so I guess that's fine. Yeah, let's go A5. I don't know. I don't know this at all, but I'm just going off of vibes here. At least he's spending a little bit of time. Okay, E3. It's interesting. She does, like, does give me the chance to trade here. Look, Knight of 6. Maybe E3 is a clever move. I'll go. Like, if I have played A5, I might as well just force him to give me that. To give me what I feel like is a good pawn structure. Here, Knight C6. D4, I think I'll go Queen E7. But I am somewhat worse here, am I not? Yeah, I am somewhat worse. Sometimes going off of vibes is not enough. Pawn sack is too much. Okay, let's go here. Here I want to go Knight B8, reroute the Knight to A6 after he's gone A3. A3 here is also very sensible. I'm expecting A3 soon. Don't know if it's necessary, but it's definitely Lazavik style. So what to do about this bishop? I think I can go here. B4, I take it. And then bishop G4. I don't think I particularly mind that. I do still have a good blockade. Here I do allow Knight H4. I don't think that's a big deal. Rook C1. Surprising to me. Let's go here. Should play a bit faster maybe. F5 maybe. It's a bit of a standoff on the queen side for the moment. I feel like this has to be right. E4. 91, I trade 95. Seems reasonable. I don't love opening up the diagonal for his bishop, but I do get a lot of good squares for my pieces. Maybe I'm allowing F4. Maybe I should have gone Rook E8. Yeah, I should not have done. Yeah, I should not have done that. That was quite weak. I think I was better. Now he's kind of equalizing the game. Here, knight h4. I think I got queen e4. And of course, queen f5. I got knight e4. So this should be fine. I mean, in the end game, I would be significantly better. So I think he has to go queen f2. And he does. Queen d3 maybe? Getting knight in here. As soon as he trades, I have a very nice positional advantage. So that's what I'm trying to force. And my knight has been idle here for a long time, but as soon as this bishop moves, the knight's got some juicy squares potentially. Maybe he's looking at this. Then I do have rook e3. Don't see a refutation. At least not immediately. What's his idea? Here, and then queen b2. But still just taking queen e4. I don't get it. Okay, so now he wants to trade. You know what? I think I'll actually go here. Knight c5 is coming, then f4. Looks very promising. So I am giving myself an isolated pawn. But I'm also eyeing some very juicy squares. f7 maybe? Yeah, just to protect this pawn in some lines. I think he's got to go knight e6. Try and trade off as many pawns as possible. Either now or very soon. Rook b2 loses an exchange to g5 and then knight d3. So protecting this pawn is a no-go. He has to go here. He's running very, very short on time too. Yeah, this doesn't work. I can just take now. Okay, he wants to sack the exchange. I see that, but it's not gonna be enough, I think. Yeah, I think he has to take here. Yeah. Rook d7, bring the king in. Like, instead of rook b6, maybe he had some small chances if he... Because rook b6 was only, I think, pseudo-active. Maybe he had some small chances if he had kept his rook on b4 and activated his king immediately. But now, this should be all over. Rook a2 seems fine. g4, I think I just go f4. Yeah. Rook e7. Praying for knight f3, king f6. Rook h2 probably wins, but... Let's not do anything too crazy here. Check. He's fighting well. I gotta give him that. But it would take a monumental effort for me for it to be enough. Rook e1 and then rook a2. Yeah. Okay. Not a bad game, I think. Kept the pressure up on the position, on the clock, and he just played a little bit too passively at times. Okay, let's look at Hikaru's winning again. But much like I did a few weeks ago, I will get another chance, I think, with white against Hikaru in the last round. And then, yeah, so we have myself and Param with 8.5, and Hikaru with 9. So what I need is to beat Hikaru and for Param not to win, and then I win the tournament. It's a fairly tall order, but it is not impossible. Oh, Hikaru lost in the first round, I can see. That was a pretty sick comeback. Maybe he did it for content. I'm trying to do what I did in Freestyle Friday last week, win 10 in a row after botching the first. So, seeing as I've played 2 black ends in a row, I think now. Whom did I beat? I beat Lazavik. And then I beat Svana, but that was before. Beat Lazavik. And Jeffrey as well, yeah. So I've had 2 black ends in a row, which means that I'll get white against Hikaru. 100%, since Hikaru and Param have also played. There we go. Okay. Big game. Let's play e4. Knight f3, bishop c4. It's funny that we're both at 1 out of 2. And now we're here again, playing in the last round. So I'm going for a quiet Italian. And this one. Rook e1, that's just to prevent a quick d5, and then I'm going c3, which is a bit of an old school setup. h6. It's not the most kind of swashbuckling move. Like usually people go knight a5 there. I had this against Bu Zhengji. And famously in the World Cup in 2017. I ended up crashing and burning with white in that game, and didn't come back in the second game as black, so famously busted there. But I seem to remember that I was quite happy with the position I had from the opening then. So I guess I'll go d4 while I have the chance. And unless he can go for a quick d5, then I will be positionally a bit better. I think d5 is very sensible. Seeing as I've traded off the light squared bishops, these structures should be good for me. Bishop d2. I kind of want to go here. So, of course, seeing as this is a King's Indian type of setup, my pieces are, especially this knight, is somewhat misplaced. So I will try and reroute them at some point. And As I expected, he avoids the queen exchange, but now at least I gain a bit of extra time to start my operations on the queen side. Is he threatening f5 now? I feel like he's not. Kind of want to go here if he goes for a quick f5. Here I think ef, gf, knight h4. Either knight h4 first or queen c2. Probably knight h4 first. Just to avoid some queen c2 e4 shenanigans. Although even there, not necessarily doing that badly. Okay, so he goes rook f8, and I think I will retreat, preparing again for a quick f5. a5. I think now there was no point in me reacting immediately to his play anymore, so for now I will try and... Let me actually just trade a bit. If he wants CP, that's very suspect, positionally speaking, and here at least I win some time. Now I'll go h3. If he tries to go back here with the queen, you know, I am... Okay, so this is his point. Because... does it though? This is actually interesting. Bishop c3, queen c4, rook a1. His queen is a bit stranded. And I am getting rook a7. Some echoes of my game against Dubov earlier. I honestly was just assuming that I was getting my rook into the game and that queen a6 or him trying to occupy the a file was not really a thing, but I can see now that it kind of is. So that's a little bit annoying. Queen a2 is possible. Like, I do keep a certain initiative there. So he's decided to kind of not go for any of that. I gotta play a little bit faster, I feel. Knight g6. For now I am a little bit stuck over here. Let's go knight h2. Maybe that's dumb. Yeah, I'm playing too passively. I'm definitely playing too passively. Let's trade the rooks next. Yeah, I don't like the way that I played this at all. Yeah. It's going to be hard to win, boys and girls. Very hard to win. I think I trade. Ah, he's got queen e2 as well there. No! Oh. Yeah, this is the point. But yeah, this is not good. My position is okay, but I've got to win it somehow. I don't like letting his knight live there. I kind of have to. I've played a bit too passively in this game. Like, I also know that he really likes positions with kind of set pawn structures, and so I really should not have gone for this. Queen f3 here. Okay, let's go knight f3 then. Queen g4 though. Yeah, it's annoying. Very annoying. Hoping to get c5 at some point still. Knight g5. No, I'm not going to take a draw. Okay, now at least I get c5. I'm probably just opening up avenues for his queen. So he's claiming that I cannot make progress. Which is maybe not a crazy claim. Trying to go here. Yeah, he's probably correct. Queen, no, that doesn't work. Takes, okay, gotta go for it. Don't have a choice. Gotta try and win. e4, I got queen d4. Oh, I just got f3. That's quite bothersome. Maybe I gotta go queen h3, f3, e4. Nah, it's no good. Check. I mean, I gotta try something. Check. No. Yeah, gotta go for queen e6. Okay, check. It's just a draw. Okay. Congrats to Hikaru. Unless Param somehow... Well, Param has a better tiebreak, so maybe we both miss out by that. But yeah, I mean, I was better early on. This is just, yeah, this is a misevaluation. Kind of. This is a bit annoying. E4. This would, no, sorry. Queen d4. This would win the game if it was not for f3. Yeah, this was just overall well defended by him. So Param won. So Param is going to win the tournament. So in the end, we both end up with nothing from that game, and I have a terrible tiebreak, so I'm going to be passed by a bunch of people, unfortunately. But you know, losing the second game, you cannot really ask for a ton more. Let's just see what the end was. I end up in fourth. My tiebreak recovered quite a bit with playing Hikaru in the last game, I guess. And so I am fourth behind Param, Hikaru, and Andrakin, which honestly, you know, it gives me some Champions Chess Tour points, and we had some fun playing chess, and I definitely didn't deserve more, so I should not complain. Okay, guys, I am going to head off. And, you know, everybody stay safe. If you need somebody to talk to, do it.